Good morning, family and friends. Welcome back to Cooking with Carol Diane in my Colorado kitchen this morning, where I'm going to prepare a nice little dessert for the 4th of July weekend. I had fixed a rhubarb pie the other day, and I took the thing over to the pie, over to my 92-year-old neighbor who's shut in most of the time, and she was absolutely ecstatic to receive it. So that made me feel good. So I still need something sweet to eat. We both had a nice slice of the rhubarb pie. We really did. Today I'm fixing what's called a peach and blueberry summertime cake. It's a fruit cake and pretty simple to make. I went out in my rose garden this morning and picked my beautiful roses to show you how pretty they're coming along. They really are. So I'll move those out of the way to show you the simple little ingredients to make this. Doesn't take a whole lot. You're going to need some fresh peaches, and you're going to need some fresh blueberries, which I have. The first thing I'm going to start with is 1.5 cups of flour. Just going to need a smaller bowl for it, and we are going to sift that 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, not self-rising, just all-purpose. And then we're going to need some baking soda, and we're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Go ahead and add that just to your dry ingredients. Then we're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Add that in there. Nice. And we'll sift that. So it's all nice and sifted. Went back to my regular sifter. I still haven't found the strainer part of a sifter like I would like to have it. So until then, I'm using my vintage one. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of set that aside, and now we're gonna go into the regular cake part of it, of mixing. You're going to need 1 cup of sugar, regular sugar. And then you're gonna need, I haven't made this recipe, so it's kind of a new one for me, but it sure looked good. 1 cup of sugar and 2 eggs. Which I have here, 2 eggs. Okay, and we're going to mix that up. I'm not bringing out my tabletop mixer today. I'm just going to mix it with the little hand mixer. It'll go easier for what I'm doing. So we mix the sugars. The sugar and the eggs, so they're all nice. I have to kind of read. I barely read it this morning on my recipe card here. I said rule of thumb when you're mixing sugar and butters or any kind of sugar and eggs is 5 minutes on a mixer, but I have kind of cheated on that over the years. You just want to make sure that that sugar is really incorporated into whatever mixture that you're doing, whether it's butter or, in this case, the eggs. And then we're going to take 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm still using my Madagascar vanilla. It's getting kind of low, so I need to buy some more of that. That's okay. There's 1/2 teaspoon to give it a nice flavor. Nice flavor. And then we're going to take some Greek yogurt. Now, I don't normally buy Greek yogurt. I like just regular plain yogurt, like Yoplait, but this recipe does call for the Greek yogurt. And so 1/2 cup of that. So I'll just kind of mix it in here to show the 1/2 cup. I started out this morning that I was going to take in a few yard sales. There weren't any. It's a holiday and there just weren't any. That's okay. So I went to the grocery store and got the rest of my ingredients for this recipe. Okay, so we're going to add, and there are tons of people at the grocery store for 4th of July weekend. My gosh, it was quite the hopping place. It really was. All right, so that takes care of that. Now we need to mix that into the sugar and the eggs. Get that all going nice. This is a cake, so we have to bake it, and I've already preheated my oven to 350. That's going. Smells good. I can smell it. My little pan, you're going to be using a spring form pan. And right here, this size right here. And I'm going to make sure that that's down in where it's supposed to be. Then you're going to spray the pan with some cooking spray all the way around. And then I'm going to take some parchment paper, and I've cut it the size of the pan down here. Lay that down in there so it's nice. And I'm also going to give it a little bit of a spray. That's so none of this cake will stick. You can use butter or you can use the spray shortening. Today I'm just going to spray it. Okay, now on the low side of the mixer, of the speed, you're going to incorporate slowly your dry ingredients. Get them all worked in there. I said I haven't made this recipe, so it's a new one for me. But it just kind of looked good, and I thought, okay, let's try that this morning. Have as a nice little treat. That thickened up the batter. Pretty simple little ingredients, it really is. Just want it mixed nice. You don't want to overbeat this by any means. Just a little bit in here. Okay, that is the cake part. It's now going to go into the pan. All that in there. And kind of spread that around so it's even in your pan. Well, that was pretty simple, wasn't it? Now we're going to do the fun part of adding the peaches. This is peaches and blueberries. So take any peach, you're going to get the skin part off of it. These where I live, these are called the Palisade peaches, but these weren't very large on these peaches. So I'll see when I start doing this how many it's going to take. It said 2 peaches on the recipe, but I think they kind of meant a larger peach, and these aren't. That's all right. You just kind of work with what you have. And we're going to cut this where I can get the seed out right quick. Great big seed in there. But we want slices anyway. We want nice little slices to go in this pot, or this cake, rather. It's cake. Cut that away and get the seed out. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need more than 2 peaches. I have a farmer's market I'm going to go to next month, but maybe their peaches will be a lot bigger. I like a peach where it's fuzzy on the outside, the peach fuzz. Those are the good ones. They really are. And I just haven't seen them. They're certainly not in the grocery store right now. You really have to go to the farmer market for that. I have them right around the corner from me. I have that. So Again, we just want to slice this until we can get that seed out of there and have the nice slices. I suppose you can use canned peaches on this, but really I think the fresh peaches are gonna cook a little bit better. Just my opinion on it. Even though I've never made the recipe before. But the way the picture looks and everything, I think that's what we're gonna need. And so in this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna start layering this, where they're like this. Oops. Show it around like this. Like this. You're just gonna start layering that. That's what we wanna do. So like I said, I'll see here in a minute how much two will give me in this pan. I might have to do a few more. My second oldest son and his girlfriend, who I just adore, she's such a good girl. They both came to see me today, bringing me a wonderful 4th of July door wreath that a friend of hers made. And she just thought of me and thought I'd like to have that. And that was really nice. But when they got out of their truck to come and see me, they were all festive with these hats that were red, white, and blue for 4th of July. And I thought that was real cute. I definitely had to take a picture of that because you don't see that very often. This girl has certainly changed my son's life for the better. She was definitely what the doctor ordered for him. I have not seen him smile and be as happy as he is right now. He's just glowing inside and out, and that's what a mom likes to see. We want to see our kids happy. We really do. My oldest lives so far away from me now, he barely came to see me for what's called Country Jam, where I live. And it was such a short visit, I didn't get to spend quality time with him like I wanted to. That's what happens when they grow up. They grow up and leave the nest, and you don't get to see them as often as you'd like at all. Okay, so I'm on my 3rd peach, but we still have to go some more in here because we have to fill this all the way around. And so that's what I'm gonna do. This peach smells really good. All of them, they just smell really, really good. So this is my first summer recipe with some fresh peaches. I make anything from a peach cobbler to, yes, peach pies. But this little cake with the blueberries, of course, I really enjoy blueberries. I think it's gonna taste really good. I really do. Let's see here, these are pretty ripe peaches, by the way. They really are, and that's good. This recipe, like I said, you cook it at 350 degrees oven for about an hour, and then you let it completely cool before you spring open that pan, the side of it, to get it out. Let it completely cool, which I will. It'll be hard because I want some right now. It smells that good. I want some right now. I did get the biggest kick out of my 92-year-old neighbor of liking my rhubarb pie. I knew I couldn't eat the whole thing by myself and didn't want to, so I really didn't know what I was going to do with all that pie, but she liked it. She's enjoying it this year. She likes most anything that I bring over the fence. She really does. Gorgeous day today, just really nice and really not that hot out today, which is nice. They're not having a parade where I live. I kind of miss that. I'm always used to a parade in my little town, but I live in the mini city now. Okay, so I've got it where we have peaches all in the pan. Hope you can see that. They're all nice and in the pan. And now we're going to just kind of sprinkle these blueberries, which the blueberries, it calls for 6 ounces of blueberries, which is 3/4 of a cup of blueberries. That's what you wanted. So now that looks like that. Kind of nice. You can kind of place your blueberries in areas maybe you didn't get them sprinkled, which I will. And then it calls for just a teaspoon of sugar to be sprinkled on top, which I will. And then I'm going to pop this in the oven, like I said, at 350 and bake it for 1 hour. And then I will be right back in an hour to show you what it looks like. And hopefully it'll come out really good because I'm excited about it. So I'll catch you in a few. I'm back. My cake is out of the oven. But first I wanted to show you the gorgeous 4th of July wreath that my kids brought to me this morning that I guess a friend of my son's girlfriend, Christina, she made. I have no idea what it costs. I offered to pay for it, but she turned me down on that, so I don't know what the gal charges for these, but she made one for my son that has a star in the middle and it says, "God bless the USA." And I just thought this was wonderful, so I'll have this for many years to come, the nice festive 4th of July wreath. So that was the wreath part. And this is the final product of the little cake. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how much it smells so good. It's just completely filled my kitchen with a peach and blueberry scent. And this is gonna be wonderful. I'm gonna transfer it onto a cake platter when it completely cools down. And I can do it now or actually when it cools down, but you can sprinkle sugar on it or a little powdered sugar. I haven't decided yet which I'm going to do. Probably a little powdered sugar once I get it onto the plate. But this is my 4th of July peach blueberry summertime cake. Let me go over the ingredients real quick with you. It was 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a ½ teaspoon of baking soda, and you want to sift all of the dry ingredients together. You're going to be putting this in a 9x3 spring form pan that you have lightly greased either with butter or the spray shortening. I put a light coat of a round parchment sheet on the bottom and I sprayed it so that it should come out just fine. Then in another bowl, you'll take a cup of sugar, you'll take 2 eggs and you'll beat that, and a ½ teaspoon of vanilla, and then a half a cup, excuse me, of the Greek yogurt. If you don't have Greek yogurt, plain yogurt on hand, and if you want to use whatever yogurt you have, I'm sure will be fine. 2 peaches sliced into wedges, but as you can see, my peaches weren't that large, so it took about 4½ of the peaches. Fresh blueberries, not canned. These are fresh blueberries. When my blueberry bush gets all ready, which will be next year, this time next year, then I'll be picking those and putting on. But I'll tell you what, these blueberries, when they came out of the oven, they just popped up and they're great. So then you're gonna bake this at 350 for 1 hour, and that's what it was, 1 hour. Take it out, let it cool, and then, like I said, transport it onto a nice platter of some kind. And I probably will sprinkle the powdered sugar on top, and I'll show a picture at the final end of my video on that. But truly, the scent of this, my gosh, I hardly can wait for it to cool down. So that's another start to my 4th of July weekend with the sweet little cake that I have prepared. I hope you make something nice in your kitchen this 4th of July. Nothing, you know, always store-bought, already done. Baking something in your kitchen is so much better, and this really didn't take that long at all. So from my kitchen to yours, this is Cooking with Carol Diane. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye now.